Hello YouTube, welcome back. This is the settlement phase for Lantern Year number 5. We have just defeated the Butcher, and it was Eve that actually killed the Butcher. So what I'm going to do is, as the person who actually kills the Butcher, she gets to roll. If she gets a Lantern 10, then she gets one of the promo card items that I have on the list. So we'll go ahead and roll for Eve. She got a 3, so she did not get anything. But if we take a look, I'll recap really quick. We killed the Butcher. Eve killed him. The Butcher was successful in killing off Thor. So there's Thor. His first hunt out is unfortunately his last hunt out. We did get the Skull Basic resource, and we did get the Butcher Cleaver, as well as, if you remember, we got 5 Broken Lanterns. On my settlement sheet, I know I made a couple of mistakes on the last showdown, so I'm going to write cheats, and I'm going to put another tick mark down. And with that, I've got the settlement set up. So that is step 1, set up the settlement phase. Step 2, 3 endeavors for the 3 returning survivors, plus 2 because Thor died on the showdown, and that is thanks to Graves. And we also have 1 because of collective toil. Our population right now, well, right now it's 14 until we account for Thor dying. But that is 10, so that gives us another endeavor. So we'll go ahead and move on to update the timeline. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm updating the timeline. And so we have a random settlement event. I'll go ahead and draw that now, and we'll see what we get. Give the settlement cards one good shuffle. Oops. I saw that, so we'll give it another good shuffle. Okay, we'll roll a dice and we'll pull the third. 1, 2, 3. The third one. And so for this settlement event, we have a Weird Dream. Let me hold that up so you can see Weird Dream. Sorry, I'm only using one camera today. Settlement phase. This settlement phase should go quick because the Butcher really didn't give us anything except for his cleaver and the 5 lanterns. Plus, we have a skull resource that we were able to obtain. But let me go ahead and read your Weird Dream. If you are the only player, a survivor dreams about a giant man that controls their lives from the darkness above. All departing survivors gain +3 insanity. So that is what the Weird Dream card says. But as I've already told you, I go ahead and I play as if there's 4 characters because I think you miss out on a lot of stuff if you play a solo campaign. So I'm pretending that I am 4 different people playing this campaign when it comes to cards and when it comes to insanity during the showdown. There is a milestone event that has to do with Weird Dream. So let me really quick read it. So it says, Mimetic Symphony. During Weird Dream, if it's well told, the survivor hears the Devil's Symphony, then you can get Mimetic Symphony. I think there's another Weird Dream one. Yeah, here it is. When a savior shares a well-told dream during Weird Dream, you can add the Corsair Coat rare gear card to the settlement storage. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, so if we have a savior tell the dream, we get the Corsair Coat. If we just have a survivor hearing the Devil's Symphony, then we can get Mimetic Symphony. So I don't think we have a survivor. Let me make sure that's true. No, we don't have a survivor. So we're going to go ahead and do a well-told dream where the Devil's Symphony is a part of the story. So the group must select a player to be the storyteller and a survivor to be the dreamer. The dreamer has a weird dream, and the storyteller must tell the rest of the group all about it. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and have Zeus be the dreamer. And Adam's going to tell us all about it. Okay, Adam, tell us all about it. The remaining players will vote to determine if the dream was well told or not. Well, of course it's going to be well told because it's me. Well told, and a truly amazing tale. It's all about the Devil's Symphony, by the way. The settlement is inspired and gains 1d5 endeavors. So there's 2 more endeavors. I rolled a 4. So there's 2 more endeavors that we got. The selected player rolls a d10 on each of the following tables to determine what the survivor's weird dream was about. The player should try their best to weave a compelling story to share with the other players and the settlement. Alright, so the first roll is number 1. It's about a giant butt dying a pointless death. 6. Roll again on the first and second tables. 1. A giant butt fighting a tiny monster, but you recall the dream backwards. Okay, this giant butt was tooting out the Devil's Symphony. And that giant butt was fighting this tiny little monster. And the monster died. But when the tiny butt played the symphony, the monster came back to life and ran away, and the giant butt was left all alone. I think that was rather well told. So, with a well-told story, we already got the endeavors from that. And now we're going to go ahead and get this milestone event. So, mimetic symmetry. There's mimetic symmetry. During the weird dream, a storyteller tells a well-told account that includes dreaming survivors hearing the Devil's Symphony. Well, I did that. Permanent effect. Still possessed by restless sleep, snatches of the malefic tune spread, humming in every mouth. Under the stone-faced ground, a massive lodestone vibrates sympathetically, perpetually attracting a rhythmic spree of frozen lightning. Its thunder echoes in all directions, the beat throbbing in every ear. Permanently add Infernal Rhythm Fighting Art to your Fighting Art deck. The survivor gains Infernal Rhythm Fighting Art. Okay, so we'll do that. Infernal Rhythm Fighting Art. For Adam. And we're going to get Infernal Rhythm Fighting Art. And we're going to permanently add that to the Fighting Art deck. So let me pull that out. And I'll read you what Infernal Rhythm does. It's a good reminder for me of what it does also. Okay, so here is the Infernal Rhythm Fighting Art. So it's a Fighting Art strain. You may spend an action to play an instrument in your gear grid, reveal the next 3 monster hit locations, and then put them back in any order. So it's kind of like a cat-eye circlet. Whenever you activate the instrument, gain a lantern token. At the start of another survivor's act, you may spend 5 lantern tokens to stir their blood. They gain an extra movement and action. So it's like a cat-eye circlet, but if I do it 5 times, then I can give somebody basically an extra turn. So we'll add that to the Fighting Art deck. Done. I'm going to put that on my settlement sheet so I don't forget that. And really quick, let me go ahead and read the strain system. So the rules are, you set aside the strain fighting arts, and once you reach the milestone event, you can add these fighting arts to the fighting art deck. And in this case, one of the survivors actually gains it automatically. But there is a limit. You can have a maximum of 5 strain fighting arts in your fighting art deck at one time. If you get a 6th one, you have to replace an old strain fighting art and remove it from the deck with the new one instead. But if your survivor already has that strain fighting art, they still get to keep that fighting art. But that is the strain system, the new strain system they have. So this is the first time we've run into it this campaign. I just wanted to make sure that everyone was clear on the rules of the strain system. So that was our settlement event. We'll put the settlement event back in the deck. And on our settlement sheet here, we have Hands of Heat and Bone Witch. So we'll go ahead and read those events in order as they're written down. So you've got Hands of Heat. So Hands of Heat, the mystery of the lantern's glow. If the settlement already innovated a lantern oven, skip this event and roll on the lantern branding table. Otherwise, proceed with Hands of Heat below. We do not have the lantern oven. One lucky day, a clumsy accident knocks a lantern from the towering lantern horde. A sudden flash of heat bathes the survivors as the lantern crashes to the ground. Now shattered, the lantern light dies, but the seed of an idea begins to grow. Nominate a survivor. They'll gain a courage and experiment with lanterns. So we need to nominate a survivor. Who needs a courage? None of my survivors need a courage. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to choose a new survivor. So we're going to go ahead and choose. We're going to choose. We're going to choose Ra. So Ra was born in Lantern Year 3. She's female. She gets the graves, so she'll get a +1 understanding. And I think that's about all she's going to get. So she's also going to get a courage now. So we'll put that on her character. +1U, +1C. And yes, we're going to go ahead and have her experiment with the lanterns. So experiment with lanterns, go ahead and roll a d10. High is always good, as always. Let's see if we can't get a high number. That's a 1. That's a terrible number to roll. An agitated lantern shatters in the survivor's face. Badly burned and disfigured, the survivor is exiled from the settlement as an inhuman monster. However, the other survivors learn something from the tragedy. Your settlement gains the Lantern Oven innovation, -1 population, add Bone Witch to the timeline 3 lantern years from now. Okay, Bone Witch is going to be added 3 years from now. 1, 2, 3. And Bone Witch is actually going to be the next event we have, because we already had that on our timeline. But now it's going to reoccur 3 years from now also. It says subtract 1 population because apparently Ra, who's not really dead, I'm going to put Bone Witch on her description. And I will mark her out and circle it just so I know, yes, she's actually marked off the sheet, but she actually just wandered off into the night. And we do get Lantern Oven, so at least that's a benefit. So looking through the innovation deck, that's good, especially since we really didn't get anything this settlement phase. So it's actually not in the deck. Let me pull it from Innovations. Lantern Oven. Okay, Lantern Oven, which is an ammonia consequence. That's why we don't have it yet, because we don't have ammonia. But now we have Lantern Oven. So, by agitating lanterns, a source of heat becomes available. So now we have heat. Departing survivors gain +1 survival, so that's important. So now my departing survivors gain 3 survival upon departure. I'll write Lantern Oven. And Lantern Oven also says add Lantern Oven consequences to the deck. So that would be cooking and scrap melting. So we'll grab those. So there's cooking, scrap melting, and we'll go ahead and add those into our innovation deck right now. Okay, so that ends up being Hands of Heat. Not the best outcome, but we did get Lantern Oven out of it. And now we've got Bone Witch. Okay. So there's the Bone Witch. And I'll read you the Bone Witch. One day the exile emerged from the darkness. Not the exile that just left, not Ra. It was one of our other exiles. Actually, I think we got that from... Did we get that from Collective Toil? Perhaps. Yes, I think we did. One day the exile emerged from the darkness. The settlement worried at the sound of the wailing chants. Everyone feared what mystery kept her alive in the darkness all these years. Some could not resist asking. All non-death returning survivors gain 3 insanity. The most insane returning survivor is inexorably drawn to the Bone Witch and must endeavor at the witch camp. Otherwise, during the settlement phase, any survivor may endeavor at the witch camp if they choose. Okay, so 3 insanity to everybody. So Zeus has 22 insanity. He is crazy. Eve has 9. Adam has 16. So that means Zeus is going to endeavor at the witch camp. And so endeavor at the witch camp is right here. And we'll go ahead and roll. And that's a 7. 7. Okay, the Bone Witch mutters of the alluring embrace of the awaiting darkness. Her stories stir strange yearnings in your bones. For being a patient listener, she offers to teach you something for the cost of 1 bone resource. If you spend the resource, gain the extra sense fighting art and +3 survival. Well, heck yes. So Zeus is going to get the extra sense fighting art because we do have a bone, which is the skull. Actually, the skull is better to keep than some of the other bones. Do we have anything left? No, we don't. I was just seeing if we had any leftover resources from previous times. But we do have this skull, so we'll go ahead and give her a skull. She will go ahead and teach extra sense fighting art, and he's already at max survival, so Zeus is good. So the extra sense fighting art, let me grab it so I could read it so you know what Zeus has. So here's the extra sense fighting art. It says you may dodge 1 additional time per round. So that's awesome. Just got to be careful because if I end up going to hunt the screaming antelope with Zeus, he won't be coming back. Anything over 20 and you wander off in the darkness after the screaming antelope fight. So I'm guessing that Zeus will not be hunting the screaming antelope anytime soon unless he becomes a little more sane. But that is the end of the Bone Witch. Any other survivor can actually endeavor at the camp, but there's some bad stuff as well as good stuff with the Bone Witch. So I think we're just going to leave it at that. She'll teach him a extra sense fighting art because he's a patient listener. And I think we'll end the settlement event portion of that, the update the timeline portion. Okay, we'll move on to update the death count. So updating the death count, it's 1. So let's go ahead and scratch 1 off. So we're sitting at 14. So we're sitting at 13 now. Actually, I think we're at 12, are we not? Because Ra wandered off. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 it is. 13. We'll fill in a death count box. That is done. So we'll check milestone story events. Okay, and already done. Hands of Heat, Bone Witch. There's nothing else that we have. At this point, the only milestone story event we don't have yet is population reaches 0. Because, yeah, first child is born, First time death occurs, settlement reaches 5 innovations, population reaches 15. We've checked all those already. And then the last one is population reaches 0. Hopefully we don't get that because that's game over. Okay, moving on, we have develop. And so, honestly, we have the Butcher's Cleaver, which we obtained. We have some Broken Lanterns, but we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 endeavors. So we could try to augury, hoping to get intimacy, grow our population. Looking across these, there's nothing else we can do. We don't have enough resources really to do anything. We have shared experience, so we could actually give one of our survivors enough hunt experience to get a weapon proficiency. But I don't know necessarily if I care about that right now. But we could get them up to 2. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and choose which survivor we're going to take out. And looking at the survivors, nobody really has anything too special. But we do have this female, and we're going to name her Persephone. She does have axe weapon proficiency, 1 understanding, and 1 hunt experience. So we're going to go ahead and give her another hunt experience. So 2 hunt experience as we share experiences with her. So I'll use 1 endeavor for that. That way when she goes out with us next time, she can actually walk out with a weapon proficiency axe. She'll have 2 hunt experience. Yeah. So when she reaches that hunt experience, when I build her, I will go ahead and age her. I'll do that off camera. So when we start the showdown next time, whenever we go hunt, I'll explain what I did off camera. There's no reason for me to do that in front of the camera. But Persephone will go out with us next time. And I still have 7 endeavors. So we can start auguring because we have all these broken lanterns we can actually sacrifice if we need the understanding. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to augury. We're going to augury with Eve. So augury needs 1 of these endeavors. Eve will roll, and she gets a 1, which is lose 1 resource from the settlement. If you do, gain an understanding. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to lose 1 of the broken lanterns. We're down to 4 broken lanterns. Eve gets 1 understanding. Eve then gets Tinkerer because she has reached insight. So insight, in a single moment, the curtain of the world pulls back. Select the Epiphany. The Epiphany is the settlement phase. So right here, it says we get Tinker. The hunt, which once filled you with inexorable dread, takes on a new dimension. Your expeditions outside the settlement inspire you with curiosity and wonder. Gain the following ability, Tinker, and we'll roll a d10 to see what she gets off of this table. So it's a 7. So gain another endeavor, this settlement phase. Wow, that's great. So we're back up to 7 endeavors. Along with her understanding, she gets insight. So we also are playing with patterns. So whenever you get insight, you get to get one of these patterns. So we already have Tempered Dagger. Now we have After Death Brew. So the After Death Brew states 1 blistering plasma fruit, 1 love juice, 1 scrap. Boil the mixture over heat. Knead the pottery clay to create a cask. Set aside the oily residue during the skimming. Let it cool until waxy, then shape to create a seal. Okay, so that is what you need to make the After Death Brew. So 1 blistering plasma fruit, huh? Okay. that's the pattern she gets. We're going to go ahead and augury with Zeus then, because he actually needs an understanding to get insight. So we'll roll for him. So here's the endeavor. We roll for him, and he gets a 2. So he also gets Tinkerer. Okay. And we're going to roll on the insight table for him. It is a 9. A 9 gives him +1 permanent accuracy. So that's awesome. And now we're going to do the same thing for Adam. Let me remove the broken lantern lest I forget. We're down to 3 broken lanterns. So maybe Adam can do this. Let's get an understanding. That's an 8. Okay, an 8 on the augury chart is intimacy. So we'll turn to intimacy. Nominate 1 consenting male and 1 consenting female to roll on the intimacy table below. So we're going to go ahead and choose we'll choose Apollo. And we'll choose Bethesda. So rolling twice because we have Protect the Young. A 5 and a 7. Okay, a 7, the settlement gains +1 population. The male and female survivors have a deep bond. We don't have bed. We do have hovel. That doesn't help us on a 7 roll. Okay, no big deal. And so we do pick up, I think I'm going to make a female. Born in Lantern Year 5. That's correct. Born in Lantern Year 5. And it was Apollo and Bethesda. And we're going to name her Muse. Okay. Not bad. We'll use another endeavor. We're going to go ahead and let Adam augury again. That's an 8. That's intimacy. We're going to choose Zeus and Hera. Why not? So there's a 6 and a 2. So the 6 is +1 population. Pretty good. And we'll make this one a male. And we'll make him Calibus. Okay, so our population is sitting at 15 now. We're going to go ahead and augury with Adam again. We're going to choose Zeus and Hera again. A 7. 7 again, so we'll make that a male. And we're going to make that Perseus. Okay, and our population goes up to 16. We're going to go ahead and augury again with Adam. That's a 7. He doesn't get the +1 until he gets a 3 understanding. So that's a 7, so he gets a survival. He's at max, so that was a waste. We're going to go ahead and augury with Adam again. That's a waste. And we're going to augury one last time with Adam. And 6 is also a waste. Okay, so that's the rest of our endeavors. And that's the rest of our development phase, actually. So we're done with that. We'll go ahead and move on to prepare departing survivors. And I am going to go ahead and pause the video at this point. I'll just let you guys know that I probably will end up fighting. We do have the Butcher's Cleaver. We do have Dash. We have Zeus, which gets an extra dodge. I really would like to go after the level 2 Lion. I just don't believe we are at this point strong enough to do that. I also want to go after the antelope so we can get some more resources. I'd probably skip right to the level 2. But I just wouldn't be able to take out Zeus and Adam. Zeus has way too much insanity. And yeah, Adam's up there too. Adam's got 16. But I'd really hate to have to go after the White Lion level 1 again for the 5th time. Or let me think about that. Maybe I will leave Zeus at home, and we'll take out Persephone for sure, Eve for sure, and maybe we will risk it with Adam, hoping that he doesn't get 4 more insanity and go wander off with the Screaming Antelope. Nah, that seems like too much of a risk. Eve's going out, Persephone's going out, and maybe we'll take our 2 new folks, Calibus and Perseus. Yeah, maybe so. Again, I will build Persephone, and I think I will build Calibus, and I will build Perseus. And we'll let Zeus and Adam sit at home as we go after the level 2 antelope on the hunt next time. So hopefully you enjoyed this. You'll see what equipment the character or the survivors have when I start my next video. So thanks for joining me.